Okay, so if we go to the character forms on the website, which are here, minor NPC, I've got a little description for each of them. So playable characters, I think we get that, don't we? They're the heroes of the story. Each has their own personal goal. They are controlled by the player in battle and specialise in a class that is unique to them. Major NPC. Major NPCs are the allies and antagonists of the story. They exist to help or hinder the heroes from achieving their goals and also have their own personal goal. They are often recurring characters. And I suppose the difference with them and minor, well, minor NPCs are usually the townspeople of the story. They are the quest givers usually and are likely to be neutral towards the heroes at first. It is not common for them to be recurring characters as they usually remain in their hometown. So that is kind of a template of how it works, but sometimes that might not be the case. There could be a minor NPC that's a recurring character, you know, if it fits their arc. But that is kind of a basic template. The minor NPCs tend to, I see them as being, you know, in their area, the area they live in, their hometown. Whereas major NPCs tend to travel to and from places and appear regularly throughout the story at certain points. And they definitely have more of an impact on the quest, the main story, because they either help or hinder the heroes from achieving their goals, whereas the minor NPCs, less so. They probably have less of an impact, but they are still, you know, important. They give the quests, and they're probably, neutral. So they're usually the people for sure that have jobs in towns. Like they could be the armourer, the blacksmith, a farmer, an innkeeper, a merchant. So if your character is one that you imagine having a livelihood, like a barkeeper, a merchant, etc., then it probably fits minor NPC more than major. But at the same time, major NPCs are still going to have livelihoods and jobs and classes themselves, even though they're not playable characters. But I guess I see them more as the ones that drive the story rather than the ones that just exist. So yeah, I also just want to make clear that just because somebody's a minor NPC, it doesn't mean they're pointless or they're not going to have any impact whatsoever. I'm still very fond of making minor NPCs really cool characters. You know, they're not going to be blank slates that are pointless. They're still going to be awesome. And let's read chat. I hope everyone is having a great morning. I just love the idea of this game and I really dig the art. Hi Banishing, welcome to stream. It's good to meet you. And thank you very much. And yeah, the artwork is, I think it's overall very appealing because it's a very kind of JRPG look, which I'm drawn to as well, because I've grown up with that particular style of art with a lot of games I've liked, so it's very nostalgic. And yes, it's because I'm not the one who makes the artwork. Like sometimes I will create my own original characters for the game. Like I have these folks up here. Carol, Meryl, Alvira, Hank, Woody and Oliver are my original characters. And now and again I might make more original characters because the story might require it. There might be some really quirky, you know, characters that there's no existing assets of anywhere, so we have to make our own from scratch, and it's always really fun to do that. I remember when I created those guys, I had a blast doing them, and they ended up looking super awesome, which I'm happy about because I'm no character artist or anything at all, so I'm happy. But yes, the challenge is making them look like they're part of the world and with the rest of the game and the artwork, so it's consistent. So a lot of the features like the eyes and and stuff were like sort of taken from the RPG Maker generator, just so they're in with the look of the rest of the cast. But like literally 90% of them were created from scratch, other than the odd feature or so. I kind of like the idea of a minor NPC, especially if most people have gone for PC or major NPC, even though minor NPC might not get a lot of screen time. Yeah, and I think that's the thing, like, they clearly would get less screen time because they're sort of restricted to the town they're from. They're the quest givers of their towns, their areas. That's kind of how I see minor NPCs, whereas major NPCs could potentially, you know, they could appear in the game whenever. There's no restrictions, no limitations. If the story requires them to be there at some point and for them to have a scene, it doesn't matter where in the world we are, the major NPC has the option to potentially appear, because they're more the adventurer type. I guess I see the major NPCs as they're more like travellers. They wander the world doing their business, you know, whether they're an antagonist or an ally. Whereas, yeah, they're more homely. The minor NPCs, they're restricted to their town that they live in because they have a job there. If they're an innkeeper, they've got to be stuck in their town because they've got a job there. They don't have the option to travel. Because in Raindrop Chronicles, that's what we're going to do as heroes. We're gonna be travelling. Us, the hero, and our party that are with us. We might start off in like Fallen Everbloom Forest, which here we got. We might start off there, but over the course of the game, as we get through the episodes, we'll be like going through all these mysterious regions that we haven't decided yet. And of course, all the NPCs of like Fallen Everbloom Forest that we met back then, we will not see again. Unless there's a teleport mechanic or a fast travel mechanic, you know, or, you know, if anybody has the patience, they could just walk through the whole world again. I mean, I don't know how restrictive RPG Maker is in terms of open world quite yet. That's something I've got to find out about. But still, the fact is you're unlikely to go back to like Fallen Everbloom Forest mid and end game, because you'd have already been there. You've already done all the quests there. All the enemies there are low level now, so why would you go back there? The game has led you in other directions. So all those NPCs, those minor NPCs that are living in Lake 4, yeah, they're gone, man. They're gone. So that is really why they're minor NPCs and not major ones, because their story has now come to an end. Unlike the major NPCs who still could pop up, you know, they could still pop up at any time. If there's a relic, I'm not going to just make them pop up for no reason, but if me and the community, you guys, we think, oh yeah, this will be a good point for this character to show up now, then we'll do it. So yeah. And I imagine being a blacksmith that sells something unique, like certain weapons, armor, item that no one else sells, that would make that minor NPC kind of interesting and important. Yeah, totally. And you could do that Moonshadow. I mean, we do have someone, there can be exceptions. I mean, we've got Dave's character here, for example. He's a major NPC. If we click this, we'll see, because Twitter's really silly, guys. For some reason, you can't zoom in on images like this, so that's why I've linked the Imager link on the Twitter. You've taken a wrong turn if you're... Huh? I have not deleted the image. Does this one work? That is weird, because I quadruple checked that. So I don't know what's going on. But we can still look at divers on the Discord, guys. So I wanted to mention Diver just because the character Moonshadow has in mind is kind of very similar similar to Diver's character. Diver's is a major NPC, but he is a blacksmith, so that is an exception. Sometimes you can have a livelihood and be that humble NPC but still be a major one. And I suppose it allows us a little bit more flexibility with Dave's character. We have the option for him to be more key in the story at another time. He doesn't have to just be constrained to his initial location where we meet him, which is the mountain. You know, so I suppose it just allows us more flexibility. But you know, I kind of want to allow flexibility for you guys when creating your characters. Like, these are just guides, like, where are we? They're kind of guides, what's in here. And some people have even started creating sub-races from these guys. We have a Wolverine now, which is kind of like the halfway point between a human and a canine. And so there we go. Some people have started to get, yeah, I kind of want the halfway point, which I'm not going to say no to either. But at the same time, if there ever is a clash in characters, like if someone's like makes a Wolverine, but then they completely clash with the current Wolverine character we've got, then I might have to change things, because that is the only issue. We could come across little weird clashes there, but we haven't yet, so there's no point worrying about that possibility when we haven't got to that point. But I like letting you guys have the flexibility, because it allows you to be more creative, and that's how people come up with awesome ideas, when there's not really too many restrictions. And I was quite creative with my character, because I wanted her to be a vampire, and there's no vampire race here. So what I did was I made her a human, but said she got turned into a vampire from a spell. So, you know, that's how I managed to get my vampire in the game. And somebody mentioned the other week that they would like to be a hedgehog. And I was like, well, you can say you got turned into a hedgehog from a spell. If you want to be that, you could have been a Neko originally, but then you got turned into an animal from a spell or something. And some minor NPCs could be travelling merchants, so you could see them again in other places, I think. Yeah, as Van says, that could even happen too. It's like, for example, Binary Ferret's character, which is one we're going to hopefully do today on stream, is right here. Binary Ferret's character is actually a merchant as well, so he could be a travelling merchant that we see again. It's really not too rigid in terms of what the minor NPCs have to be like and what the major ones have to be like. Like, some of them, depending on their arc, might break the mold and, you know, be more of a reoccurring character, which is why I put usually. I said it is not common for them to be recurring, because sometimes they might. It's only the exception or the odd one that might reoccur. But even if they did, it wouldn't be in a way where it was too key. You know, they're not major NPCs. They'd just be there for minor reasons. I guess a bit like that dude in Final Fantasy X. What was his name? Owaka. He was like this old guy, and he'd tell you about the lore of the game. You'd find him, he'd travel, and he'd be there in loads of different random places, and he'd just start talking about the lore of Final Fantasy X every time you spoke to him, and that was it. That was his only purpose in the game, just giving you a bit of lore details on your journey. And he was recurring, but he was definitely a minor NPC, not a major one. So, you know, I kind of like just, I suppose, imagine the majority of them to be the ones that are in their towns. But yes, some of them could be travellers, as Van says. But how you doing, Van? And a blacksmith that's a vampire. Wonder how that would work. You could only use his services during night time. Well, the vampire lore is still very unfleshed out, and Rose is fine at night. I mean, in the day. Rose can wander around in the day. She's not like got a weakness to sunlight like your typical Twilight vampires or anyone like that. So yeah, our vampires are pretty different to traditional vampire lore in regards to that, because honestly guys, it would have been really difficult to have a main character like Rose, my character, be someone that couldn't be around in the day. It would just make it really hard and confusing, considering she's a playable like character that's in the game a lot. So we have to kind of break the vampire lore a little bit there. But, you know, that's why we can be creative. We can come up with our own vampire. Yeah, so, yeah, who knows? I kind of said to people, if they want to make a vampire too, they totally can. And it would, you know, maybe all races could be vampires. Even the felines and reptiles. At the moment, it's only Rose. She's our only known vampire and she's a human. So right now, we only know that humans can be. But, you know, things are going to be decided as we go along with this. So, we'll see. Okay. So, I've been on my ramble. And I put up the important news thing. So, I'll remind you guys again that there's an announcement in important news today. I just put up, and it is concerning the raindrops that are required to make your character, folks. So that will be changing in 4 weeks. And I think 4 weeks is enough time to give you plenty of warning to get in the 500 raindrops before it's officially increased. And Sarah, thank you for joining the Discord. Oh, you found me for the writing tag. That's pretty cool. Awesome. I'm happy to see that actually gets paid attention to. Because I like a writing category on Twitch. I think that would be pretty awesome. But yeah, I mean, guys, if you look at the sheets, the forms, I mean, these will be getting hidden soon. They will be only people who have the required raindrops will be able to see the links in Discord to these in the next website update, but you can still have a peek at them now. Different questions get asked, like this "what do you do for a living" question only get asked if you're a minor NPC, and do you have any family in town, that's only get asked if you're a minor NPC, whereas major NPCs get asked different things, like are they an ally and antagonist, what sort of faction would they be part of, and what is their goal. Minor NPCs don't actually have goals, and I think that's also what makes them a little bit less fleshed out than your major NPC and your playable character, because they have goals, whereas the minor one doesn't. So it's really that goal that makes them more than major, in like have a major impact on the story more, because they actually have an arc, whereas the minor NPCs don't have as much of an arc. But as I says, we've got, let's just go on our character section. We have Fiona and Nigel, who I've considered minor NPCs because they live in Lakefall, and they won't be in the game anymore when we leave Lakefall. And same with the other NPCs that are in Lakefall. But, you know, I want Fiona Buckington to be a really interesting character, and Nigel too. So just because they're minor doesn't mean they're not going to be interesting. They still will. I've got a few ideas in mind, but I try to keep my ideas as open as possible, because we're always very likely to put up polls to make decisions in regards to our game. So if there's ever a character arc concerning these two, decisions will be made on polls, and you know, I'll collect and curate all the cool answers and cool ideas, and then the final vote will be done on a poll, and whatever wins will be the way we go. I tend to like that approach when it comes to making decisions in the game, and that's going to happen a lot. We're going to get conflicts and clashes in regards to ideas. Sometimes we'll be like, oh, we can't do both of those, so, you know, poll time it is. You know. And yeah, the barrels and Woody and Oliver, they're major NPCs because they're gonna be pretty key to the main quest. You know, Carol is looking for them. They're the MacGuffins. They're the MacGuffins, guys. If you don't know what a MacGuffin is, I'm gonna send you the TV tropes link. MacGuffins are everything. A lot of stories have them. Hi, Forgotten, how you doing? And Kia, how are you doing, guys? You still can't get the Raindrop? Oh, yeah, it's because you changed your name. Right, we'll do that now for you, Kia, because it's so easy for it to slip my mind if I don't do it now. So, I've got my bot up. Okay, so I'm looking at my bot now, and your old account, which was Kia Lich 1984 with an underscore, you have 354 points on that one. And on your new one, you have 88. But you had another one before that as well, without the underscore, and that's got 38 on it, and I assume they're all you. So we'll combine all those. I'll get my calculator up and I'm not showing my bot on the stream, by the way, guys, just because I guess in case something comes up that shouldn't, you don't know what's on there. So a lot of things I don't have on my window capture. And thank God I checked, notification didn't pop. Oh, well, I'm glad you're here, Forgotten. You're here now. But yes, guys, I'll remind you guys again. I want to make sure everyone knows there is an announcement in the Discord that I put up about 10 minutes ago. Just mentioning the increase in raindrops that will be happening in a few weeks' time. And I've given the date on there. And you've got time, guys. You've got 4 weeks. So I think that's a fair amount of time. I think if I extended it any more, it could be a bit long. I think 4 weeks is fair. So we're going to keep it as that date. Right, so 384 plus 88 plus 38. That's 510. So you'll have the raindrops, Kia. You'll have enough. Let me just count the hours as well. So that's 39 hours in stream. Okay, so I'll delete your old accounts. So if you do the raindrops command now, you should see that you've got 510. So, yay. Huzzah. Keeping this screen on for a while, LOL last switch. Yeah, that's the only thing, guys. If you do change your name, it will reset your raindrops. So if that ever happens, you'll just have to let me know, because otherwise, if you don't, your old raindrops will be gone. They'll be hidden away. I mean, they're not gone because your old username would have still been here on the bot, but you know, they might as well go to waste. How was your weekend? It was all right, Forgotten. Not too bad. A busy one though. Busy one in regards to, you know, everything, life. But I hope yours was good, Forgotten. I hope everybody's was. Okay, folks. So where were we? Oh yeah, I gave you the MacGuffin link in chat, guys. Honestly, that is kind of really what those guys are. Carol, well, not Carol, but Meryl, Alvira, Hank, Woody, and Oliver. They're MacGuffins. Which, as a summary, for those that don't know, is a term for a motivating element in a story that is used to drive the plot. It serves no further purpose. Well, I disagree there, because they might serve a further purpose. So maybe not there, but they're definitely the motivating element in the story that are driving the plot. Which, when I release the story so far video, the next one, anybody that's a bit like, oh, what's their role in the story, for those of you that missed some of the streams a couple of months back, you'll find out, because I'm going to very much highlight, you know, the story in the next story so far video in regards to these guys. Because we did spend a lot of time talking about them. Like, we spent weeks in the stream, between stream 80 and 100, around that time. We spent ages talking about them, but some of you weren't here back then, so you probably wouldn't know what on earth these quirky characters are about. So I'm excited to release the next story so far video, just clarify things in terms of what's happening. And the next story update as well, the next website update will be done around the same time as the next story so far release. So at the moment I have it as May, and the next website update is May. And we'll keep it like that for now, but we'll see, because it might get extended to early June, especially seeing as the currency increase will be early June. It would kind of make sense to do the website update alongside that. But yes, let's get on with some character stuff again. We've got the last half to get done and posted on Twitter. And I'm not going to spam the Twitter. I kind of want to post them all gradually. So you might notice I've only been posting 1 or 2 a day on Twitter, so I don't spam everyone's timelines. Grinding my ass off in BDO. Oh, well, good luck. I hope you get super strong. I believe in you, Forgotten. I have this weird idea of a scenario where someone adopts a vampire and they are not your standard vampire. Oh, standard vampire. I mean, Rose, for example, isn't a standard vampire herself. She has no finesse or charisma whatsoever. She's just a feral beast, Rose. She can't even speak. She's an animal. But basically, if you read a character sheet, you'll understand. But she's a mute character. I suppose she does the odd grunt or hiss now and again, like an animal would. But aside from that, she's basically a mute character, which makes communication with that character quite interesting, and it kind of allows for some potential ways to take the story, which we've kind of started with the fact that Carol is communicating with Rose via a painting right now. She's making Rose paint for her to tell her stuff, which we was working on in the scene here for Main Quest 2. And I'm really excited to get those done, because I'm still in the process of getting that Main Quest scene 2 finished. And once they're done, once they're officially done, that's when I can release the next story so far video. But the boss will have to be done first as well, which is here, basically. So it's kind of all May's. It's all what we're going to be doing in May, finishing that stuff. And once that's all done, we can release it then. I can record it and stuff and get it up. But adopts a vampire, that's interesting. I'm interested in what other non-standard vampire ideas people have, because I can imagine there being a kind of hierarchy. I don't know if that's the right word, but a hierarchy of vampires, and Rose would be at the bottom of what a vampire. Like, I could imagine there being some really charismatic vampire types in this game, and Rose is like the most feral of them, and that's because she was turned into that from a spell, and the person who did it probably had sort of their own agenda for why they did that to her. We don't know what it is though yet, because I purposely like to keep everything really open-ended so we can come up with ideas together for why things are the way they are. And hi Sevie, how you doing? It's good to see you. I'm almost a drizzle, yes. Drizzles are cute. GG. Hi Rose, hi Ruki, how you doing? It's good to see you. Hi VLX. So is this a pen and paper thing? Pen and paper thing, as in like D&D, or just want to clarify? I don't. It. In all honesty, it's just an RPG game. It's just your standard 2D RPG game, guys. If you want to actually see the game in action, I suppose the story so far video is what you want to see, because I've actually got, you know, the game. I'm narrating the story of the game in that video, and you can actually see the game in action. Well, the character walking around anyway. So, you know, that's kind of the place to be, and that is on our the YouTube channel. But of course, not every stream. In fact, a lot of streams, I'm not going to have the game open. I'm not going to be doing test plays every single stream, or showing the game every single stream, because we got a lot to talk about. This is very like talk and chat focused. We ramble about ideas a lot here, so the actual work gets done off stream most of the time. Sub 1.000, it's something. Maybe we find a baby abandoned in our front door one day that turns out to be a demon lord. Oh my goodness, imagine that. We do actually have, it's funny you say that, because although demons aren't a actual race in our game, we do have a demon in the game, Akira. He's a playable character, so he's down here because he's not actually been introduced yet. So he's a demon. So the fact that he's in the game proves that there are demons in this world, so it wouldn't be impossible to have something like that happen. But you know, it's gonna be fun. Like I like collecting all your ideas, and I always like put them in my notepad. Even the silliest and most random of ideas I'll put in a notepad file, because when it comes to, you know, when the game opens up a bit and we start getting side quests, it's gonna be a time where I'm gonna be like, okay, what ideas can we like think of for things? But of course, I want everything to not be a random bunch of things that don't link to the theme of certain areas. So in Everbloom Forest, it's all very enchanted. It's got certain themes, the Everbloom Forest has, that other regions in the game won't have. Other regions in the future might be more gritty, more dark, and more like spoopy, and some will be more like Eastern themed, others will be more like bustling city kind of places. You know, we're going to have lots of different environments, and there'll be opportunities for different kinds of side quests for each of those areas. And I'm one for making sure that the side quests that we do have like really fit the places that we go, the areas that we have. So some we might not see until years on. So there might be some really cool ideas you guys have, and we're like, oh wow, that's really cool, but it probably won't happen until we get to a major city. So if that ever happens, then I'd keep the idea, I'd put it away in a file, a notepad file, and then come back to it whenever we get to the irrelevant part. And cool, all right, well, welcome VLX, it's good to have you here. But the bot kind of comes up and says things, but really our main commands are, I suppose, the YouTube one. The YouTube is the place to be, because that's that's the place that has everything related to the game in regards to story so far, lore, and any sneak peeks in the game as well. So I sometimes kind of show that off even more than the actual website sometimes, because the website is due for an update. I need more pages on it, like the FAQ page and stuffs. Hi Agro, how you doing? Sometimes I call you Argo instead of Agro. You know, I get that R and G mixed up. Damn it. Damn language. The possibilities are endless. They are, and that's what's really, really interesting and keeps me sort of like excited, because I think as soon as you say, yeah, we're doing that, that's how it's going to be, we're not changing it, you know, I'm kind of limiting any future ideas there. So, you know, I like to keep everything open, simply so people can throw around ideas over time. That is quite the task with this RPG you have. There it is, isn't it, Verlex? What can I say? I'm a superhuman. Hi Moon, hope all is well. How you doing, Agro? Did you see the announcement on our Discord, by the way? Just going to remind you folks that we've got an announcement related to the Raindrops for making a character in the game. Basically, the reason for the change, and when it's, I mean, still 4 weeks, guys. It's going to be the 8th of June when it gets increased, so you've got 4 weeks. And the reason for the change is that, in all honesty, it's so we make sure we don't end up with a ridiculous amount of characters over time. I want to make sure quality over quantity. And in all honesty, quality over quantity is my motto. I would rather have 12 extremely good quality side quests over 50 really boring, monotonous side quests. So in case you're wondering about my vision in regards to the scope and size of this, yes, I want it to be, you know, an epic fantasy, but I would still take 12 amazingly put together, really entertaining, charming, heartwarming, you know, feelsy, like quest lines over 50 really like, oh, this is boring quests, you know. So I'm gonna, when it comes to side quest creation, it's gonna be, you know, I'm going to be a strict one, and of course I'm going to encourage you guys to come up with ideas, but I kind of will have to put some kind of organisation in place with it still, just so we don't end up like going absolutely crazy and end up with a game that makes no sense at all and has so many different themes that don't fit. So yeah, for that reason, I'm probably going to be like, okay, the Everbloom Forest, the quest line has to be sort of, you know, linked to a sort of theme that links to the whole foresty, enchanted theme of the Everbloom Forest, just because of that. But we're still a way off from doing side quests. I'm rambling about those, but side quests, it's here, guys. So it's kind of an aim for July to get to that stage, but there's a lot to do before then. In all honesty, it's about finishing main quest 2, the cutscenes for that, finishing the first boss, and tidying up things. That's kind of the plan for the next couple of months, because I want to get a first playable build in a good state, you know? So I want to get that ready before moving on to any new things. So today I want to, you know, finish the character sheets. That's my target for today. And all going well, that might allow us to do some battle mechanic stuff the rest of the week. Or maybe even some scene things, because there's still quite a bit of scene stuff to do. But a lot of that I might be doing off stream. But we'll see. I'm going to see how I feel on Wednesday. Because I don't want to still be doing character sheets on Wednesday. I want to move on to something else by then. Also, my goodness, let me read chat. I've gone off on a ramble, haven't I? And I'm behind. Instead of having the weakness of garlic, holy water, and stakes, they can get hurt by silver and poison ivy, or they can grow to be 18 to 21 in human years, or maybe they only infect humans by drinking a very small amount of blood. Like I said, it's a weird idea. Well, I'm going to take them all anyway, Sarah, and basically, you know, when it comes to things like this, when ideas get thrown about, I make a massive notepad file of anything interesting people say in stream. I keep them all in a folder on my PC, and whenever there's a point in the game where it's like, okay, today's going to be about vampire lore, then I'll literally gather all the vampire related things people have said and then consider them when we talk about that, because I think that's definitely the best way to do things, because my brain's only so big, isn't it? And it can't like contain all these many ideas at once. So keeping a note of them and then putting them away to return to them when the time is relevant and right feels like the smartest way to handle it. But yes, just so you know, guys, I do copy and paste a lot of your notes. So you might find, oh my goodness, I said that months ago, and I'm like, yep, I copied and pasted it. And you might have even forgot yourself about the idea, but it was always there. Great, have the day off. Am I way thinking about a hike? Oh, really? Well, I hope you enjoy that hike. I hope you have a good one. Oh, great, that sounds fun. And Darren, thank you for that follow as well. Welcome to the stream. Looks so warm and nice outside. Turned out it's cold. Yeah, it's cold here. It's cold here. No worries about Koyaka. Yes, I did. LOL. Well, I am aware. I get it the wrong way round, but I'll get there eventually. Rose will leave you speeches by the end of this project, I'm sure. Oh, thanks for that encouragement. And that's what I like to hear. That is what I love to hear, you know, from peeps. It gets me all, you know, yes, let's do it. Because once, like, I think it was really on, like, this was like stream 18 or something in the very, very early days of the project. Someone came in and it was a complete random person, no one that had ever been in the stream before. And they were like, I don't think you're going to do this. You're not going to do this. And I was just like, you know, can we have some positivity here, please? You know, we don't want that. That's not gonna make us feel good about if we're hearing that. So, and then he never came back. So, but I say, I don't know. Some people just want to ruin your day a little bit, but we don't let them, do we? We only have positivity here. So, you're awesome, Forgotten. I appreciate it. Oh my, superhuman indeed. But hey, even though keeping everything open might make the universe broad in possibilities, having restrictions may set limits but can create opportunity to create depth of said limits. And that's an interesting point, VLX, as well. And it's good. I like to, as I say, collect everything, because if I didn't, you know, I'd be like, oh, that person said that back then when we was talking about vampires, and it just slipped my mind what it was because I didn't save it, and I kind of would not like that if I didn't. So for the sake of, like, you know, anything that's like, oh, that's an idea, so it's a 5-second job, isn't it, to copy and paste and put in a notepad file. But yes, at the same time, you do have to put some sort of restrictions as well. Because, like I said, when it comes to side quest creation, we're not going to have like 50 side quests in episode 1, guys. We're not going to have ridiculous amounts, because it will take. I'll be an old granny. I'll be an old granny if we have to. And episode 1 won't be out until 2030 if we go that obsessed. So we will have to limit the amount of side quests we have in episode 1, and I would like to get at least 10 in. You know, if we had 10 side quests in that were really good, really memorable, I'd be totally satisfied with that. If they were like really quick, you know, lazy ones, I wouldn't be satisfied. But if they were like meaningful side quests and really expanded on the lore, then yeah, I'd be okay with that. So yeah, we will have to like narrow it down and restrict what we're going to have. And I think, as always, when it comes to ideas, if like say, oh, we've got this idea for this particular portion of the game, this particular story or side quest, and there's like 10 ideas for it, and it's like, oh, well, which one are we going to go for? We'll just put up a poll. That's how we always do it. I pick out the options, put up a Discord poll, and I'm like, okay guys, vote for your favourite idea, and then the one that wins is the one that we go for, and no one can complain then, because it was all voted on by the community. So whatever wins. So that's usually how we like confirm things in the game, via polls. And we haven't had a poll in a few weeks because we haven't really been, doing that kind of decision making lately. But once we get into decision making stuff, we'll be back on those polls. And I'm a huge fan of dark gritty things, so anything that has skeletons, undead, necromancer and demons, I'm a huge fan of. Yeah, Forgotten, and I mean, like we say, we've got the demon with Legion, Akira's character. We also have a skeleton lady with Kindled Trash's character. She's actually a brothel owner, and she looks super glam and pretty on the outside, but she can actually turn into an undead skeleton as well. Necromancer, I believe, is a playable character class in the game. In fact, I know it is, because I remember it being in the list. No one's taken it yet as a class, so it's still there to be taken for anybody that does want to be a necromancer. So yeah, we've got those sort of elements in Raindrop Chronicles, and although there's absolutely no hint of them so far, because we're only in this pretty flowery forest area that looks all nice, Raindrop Chronicles is going to be a world full of many themes and different environments, and it's a bit of a kitchen sink. It's going to be a bit of a kitchen sink, but a kitchen sink that I'm going to make work, so it all fits and ties in together well, hopefully. What app is it that you're using to organise the work you're doing? Oh, it's Trello, Van. So I'm going to give you the command. I've got a Trello command here, guys. So if you click on that, you'll see the actual page, and if you want to make your own Trello, it will probably let you as well. So yeah, it's really cool. It's a really nice, organised, visual way of doing your project. So if you're doing one, folks, I definitely recommend you use this one. Make vampires sparkle in daylight. Yeah, if say one of you comes up with a really bad idea, like vampires sparkling in daylight, I know that was a capper, but say if one of you did, and I wouldn't put it on the poll, because because I ultimately have the final say about the ideas, and I'm the one that curates them. I can't say the word properly. They have to go through me, and I suppose if I'm not, oh yeah, that's cool, that could work, then I'll put it on the poll, and then the choices on the poll you guys get to say. So whatever wins, whatever tops it, will be the winner. You just have to look in the poll section of our oops, clicked the wrong thing. So we got the poll section here on the website, so you can see some of the previous ones on here, and we do have a few new ones since then as well. So for example, this was one I really liked. This was one of the most fun polls to me. Where's it gone? It's disappeared because I zoomed in, because I want you guys to be able to see it properly. But this was when we decided who should be Carol's companions, and this was the point when none of them, when we didn't have a clue who they were going to be. We only had Carol, and so what we did, we had a stream where literally chat was just coming up with ideas for different barrel characters, and I collected them all. And then I just put them all in a pile. We had Carol's father, Carol's mother, Carol's brother, and a description of what their personality was like. And then I was like, okay, you guys vote on your favourite 4, and the 4 that win will be the 4 that we have. Because we can't have 10 barrels, it's too many. So we gotta limit it somewhere, we gotta have a cut-off point. So we were like, yeah, we'll have it ended up being Hank, Elvira, Meryl and Woody that won, and Woody wasn't even a barrel. So that was I think that was a really interesting, different one that people liked, and that's why Woody got a lot of votes. So they were the ones that eventually topped the votes, and this is them now. Where are they? Where are they? There they are. So then we made their character designs. So that was a really fun time. So I think I should go. See you later. Take care, Sarah. Have an awesome day. What kind of battle mechanics have you planned? Well, we're going to be revisiting battle mechanics stuff this week, perhaps, if I'm brave enough. Because battle mechanics is the bit that's most challenging for me, but it's always very exciting. It's always super fun to like see work when you do the test plays. But my brain isn't very maths like. It's not a maths or numbers brain as much as a creative one. So it's always a bit daunting, but I'll pick it up over time. And we've done quite a bit of battle stuff so far, but we need to really kind of just tidy it up and make it even better. So you'll see when we go to it later in the week, because it's definitely an important May task doing the battle stuff. It's literally mainly just making the boss awesome and work well, and also doing some of the skill tree stuff for the playable characters, because we're going to be having a skill tree in our game. It's going to be a skill tree, a little bit like Final Fantasy X Sphere Grid, similar to that. And the playable characters have jobs classes that are exclusive to them. So you can build the playable character how you want them to as well, because the skill tree will have multiple branches. It's going to have 3 kind of specialist branches, which just makes it a little bit more exciting. How long has this been going on for now? About a year, Virlex. We're on stream 137, is it today? So, consistently I've been doing it for about 6-7 months. 3-4 times a week. Consistently I've been doing it for 6-7 months, but the project did officially begin about a year ago. But I had like a summer holiday and a small hiatus in the first half of the project, so we hadn't really done much back then, apart from the Everbloom Forest mapping and a few little small things. But since we came back in September, October, we ended up really fleshing things out. We started thinking, we made those barrel companions, and we did quest 1 and 2, and we've like got more ideas for the actual main quest scenario story, and it's going to be fun. I can recommend Workflowy for collecting organised ideas. Oh, okay. I'll have a look at that one as well, Virlex, then. Also, I forgot where to fill out my character sheet with all this crazy stuff going on. I realised I hadn't done this yet. Okay, Van. Well, all you have to do is go to the website. So, have we got a command? I do think I've got a character command. So it's, yeah. So, find out more on the website, raindroprpg.com. And it'll be there on both PC and mobile this will. The navigation isn't there on mobile, it's only there on PC, but the actual character forms will work on both, so they're there right, literally you just have to scroll down a touch and it's right there, the forms, and they will eventually be going off this page because people are filling them in, random people. Which, you know, kind of is to be expected. Not everybody's going to read and realise there's a requirement, so that I will be locking them and only making them viewable to people that have met the raindrops. I'll probably be putting a link in the Discord and giving people a Discord role or something. So that's probably the best way to do it. So yeah, you just pick which one you want, which one tickles your fancy the most out of the 3 types of characters you can be, and just fill it in and submit, Van. So again, guys, you have 4 weeks 4 weeks until it's going to be increased to 1,000. And yeah, it's going to be double. It's going to be double from that point on, and it's still not, obviously, still not going to be impossible for you guys to get those raindrops. I'll still believe in you. If someone's committed enough to the stream and being a character, they'll do it. It'll just take a bit longer time is all. Get in mind soon. Awesome, yay. Real-time or turn-based combat? It's turn-based, Felix. Similar to 10 as well, in the fact that it's not an ATB. It's actually turn-based, because some of the other Final Fantasies, although they're considered turn-based, they were ATBs. They were action time-based. Whereas 10 was the real turn-based. That one, you actually did see that there was different turns. You actually saw the turn-based visual on the side. And we've kind of got that with our battle system too. It works in a very similar way. And in all honesty, it's kind of just the best and easiest one to do with RPG Maker, because there are plugins that let you do more action-based battle systems, but it's always a risk, especially when you're making a years-long project, to like go for a plugin that's could potentially stop being developed on. So, you know, for that reason, I didn't want to take a risk of going to an action-based direction. I wanted to stick to the default, but at the same time, even though it is going to be the default, I'm going to make it, you know, make it fancy, make a fancy version of the default if I can. And I'm very partial to turn-based deep down anyway. It is what I like most, so it only makes sense the game I'm making is what I like most. You know. And my raindrops for a while now, just been so busy. Yeah, that's understandable. Life happens, but there's not a time limit, Van. Like, even when the 4 weeks finish and the raindrop requirement goes up, that, you know, there's still not a time limit then for anybody. There's no rush. Like, these characters, so many of them, I'm talking like 80% of them, we're not going to see until episode 2 onwards. Some of them probably not until much later episodes, because there might not be a place for them so early, and it wouldn't make sense to introduce a character that was meant to be dwelling in the dark demon underground. That's somewhat random, by the way, and making them appear in a flowery forest. You know, it's all going to be about time and place for the characters, whatever there's a good point. And like exactly with playable characters as well, we're not going to have like, it's all going to be a gradual thing when they all get introduced. Like, we've only got Rose in the party so far, and there might be another one that we meet that joins the party in the next main quest, because I feel like it'll be really handy to have that third character fighting with us as soon as possible. But we're not gonna, we'd never be like, okay, you've got 10 playable characters all in one go, you know. So it's all a gradual thing. Yeah, I'm not planning to miss a stream until I get the Raindrop Rex. Yeah, everybody who is very interested in getting a character, I recommend always having me on the lurk while I'm streaming, because, you know, you've only got 4 weeks. So if you do wanna get those raindrops, you know. So if I have questions about the character, can I send you a message on Discord? Sure, Van, you're totally welcome to. And I always DM people a picture of their character, their sprite and their face, before I officially put them up on the Twitter anyway, because I like to confirm you guys are happy with the look of them, because not every character I'm going to do on stream. In fact, I most likely won't be doing many characters on the stream, because I prefer to spend time doing the actual game related development stuff. It's only the last 2 weeks that I have been doing them on stream, and that was simply for a break, because I felt like I want we got a lot to get off the list, so we'll do it now. And yeah, so when anybody who has the 500 raindrops does fill the form in, all that'll happen, I'll add your name to character sheets to do, guys. So what I am going to do is, well, that wasn't meant to happen. I'm going to archive the ones that are done. So we've done Fantasia, Dave, and Master Emerald, White Watt, and Glacian now. So those guys are done. And yeah, so any new people that add, I'll add you in the order of submission. So if there's a few of you, I'll put you in the order that you did submit your characters. And as soon as Oracles is done, which hopefully today, hopefully we get it done, we'll say, because we spend a lot of time talking. These 5 are the priority at the moment, so whenever Oracles is done, I'll be having a little break from the character sheets, because we've got this stuff to work on this month still. So I'll probably, if there are any new ones, I won't be doing them for at least, you know, a week or so, because I want to focus on this. But you'll be there ready, so when I start getting some characters done again, whoever's there will see theirs. Fantasia had to wait like months to see his character done. I said her because Fantasia's character is a girl, so, and then I realised I called you a girl, Fantasia, in RL. Lol, how you doing, Fantasia? Just saw the craziest ad. Hello, Rose. Hi, Zephyrus. How you doing? And thank you for the follow as well, Virix. I forgot whether I said thank you now. I always forget if I say thank you. And all right, I shall be sending you some messages soon. Awesome. So, yes. Let's get cracking. So Zexians is here, guys. Let's get Photoshop up. I finished his last night, and his is ready to put up on Twitter now. So I don't think there's any typos. So I'm going to put it up on Imager, and then I can post it. And Zexian's character is a summoner, guys. He's a fairy summoner. And he's a fairy boy. He's a pretty fairy boy. I am her. Such cute emotes they are, aren't they? You guys all have cute emotes. I'm jelly. I got some cute ones too, though, believe it or not. Okie doke, guys. So let's get this one up, because we're due for another Twitter post, because it was hours ago when we put the last one. So this one is Cryus. Submitted by now. I need to find out what Zexian's the username is, and I know an easy way to find it, because he actually tweeted on here. So it's down here, I think. Here. So I can just copy and paste this. Oh no, it's not letting me copy and paste. It's a butt face. Oh, there we go. It's literally just the same as his actual Twitch name, so I can just put it if I... Because the once I remember spelling someone's Twitter handle wrong, so I've got paranoid since, and it ended up atting someone else. And that was embarrassing. So I hope that's correct. You have a butt. I don't have a butt emo, I don't think. Oh, actually I do. There. The ad, how to keep your teen safe at home. It seems like you want to keep them locked up at home all the time. I guess when they're adults, you just let them go free on the world. Oh my goodness. Zephyrus, have you got a teen? Are you locking up your teen in there? so weird. Such a random ad. And you wonder why. It's weird. I get weird ones sometimes too. Is that a tongue? That's a unique emote. Okay, so what are we going to say about him? So, so I just write a description with the tweet. A melancholy fairy who wants his lost love back. Yeah, that one could work. Seems like he's torn between wanting to forget his past, but also wanting to get his past back. You know, it seems like a conflicted character, which is always an interesting one. But Summoner's an interesting class because Summoner's pretty... We've got some classes in the game that are similar, like Dragon Tamer, which is similar to Summoner, but that's like exclusive to dragons, whereas Summoner's definitely going to be more diverse with what you can have. Look at all these emotes. Sure, do is 15 years old, but I keep him locked up for different reasons. Oh my god, it's like that hadn't read your mind then, Zephyrus. It knows your life. How scary. I'll get my past back, but I don't want my past. I don't summon fairies. Fantasia's a fairy as well. Okay, so... I'm looking at what I've put as my descriptions for the others. We got a broken heart. Oh, broken heart. So this one's a sad one. He has got a sad face. And let's copy and paste that. I think that's it. Hello Rex and Shub, how are you guys doing? It's wonderful to see you both. How is your Monday treating you? And hi Julia Caesar. I like the website design. Did someone custom create it or is there a website builder you use? I made it myself, Julia. So it was created from scratch by moi. Yours truly. So it took it. I had a whole 3 weeks off stream to make it. So it was done on WordPress in case anyone's curious. That was the website I used. Well, what I used to make it. So it's a pretty good one. But thank you for the kind words. It turned out really well. Yeah, thank you. I'm happy to hear you say that because that was kind of my goal. I wanted it to be really dynamic and visual. The goal was for it to be attention grabbing. But at the same time, quite informative. I wanted it to be something where people got the information on the project and stuff. So There's definitely still some pages I want to add, like an FAQ one is like 100% so vital because people ask me a lot of questions on stream, so it's gonna be so handy to have that. And it's gonna be reasonably easy to update as well, because it's the way it's built and the way the pages are, it's quite, it's not too code heavy. It's a very kind of visual like way how it was created in WordPress. So, but gosh, it did take time. And Legmark, how are you doing as well? Hope you're doing good, Legmark. Look at you, double rows here now. We're next to each other. We're twins. Good luck, Rose. We'll go to sleep again. I'm quite sick. Oh no, I hope you get better soon. I hope it goes away by the time you wake up. And not really, my son needs constant supervision. His type usually does. He can do well by himself, but he's usually with someone. Oh really? Well, fair enough, Zephyrus. I believe in you. I know you know what's best. It's the sound of that Vun Bada voice again. Greetings, rosiest of raindrops. Hope you're having a good Monday, Legmog. And have I missed the creation of Poppy's card yet, or is that yet to come? I'm paranoid of missing. It's still to come, Legmog. I'm being a bit of a slow coach. I'm going to be honest. I'm slow. And I have archived the other ones, so if anyone wants to look, the Twitter is where to be, because that is where all the new, most recent character sheets are all going to get posted. And I do at you as well, so if you're someone who has submitted a character sheet, if you do follow Raindrop Chronicles on Twitter, I'll at you, because I'll know that you have a Twitter then. Otherwise, I'll just have to put your name like that, which is fine. Some of you don't have Twitter, and that's okay. So in case of that, I'll just like say, you know, just have the name without the at. So we're submitting Zaxian's character at the moment. And he's about halfway through the list, but now he's at the top because we've got rid of the others now. So we've got, after Zexy, we've got Storm, Binary, Legmark, and then Oracle. And Neffle's on the list too, but he's going to be put away for a little bit. I'll probably do Neffle with the next batch of characters that we get, that we have coming before June the 8th. Because I'm going to remind you guys again, there's an announcement on the Discord right here. So if anyone missed it, it's a pretty important one. Mainly important for those of you that want to be a character still, because we will be increasing the raindrop requirement to 1,000 folks for the health of the game and me and the stream, because we are getting a lot of characters submitted recently, and I love it. It's exciting that so many people want to be part of the project. Super fun, and I super love the varied characters we've got, but we do have to like set limitations, and you know, because otherwise it's gonna get out of hand. We're gonna end up with hundreds and hundreds, because this is a years long project. So just think, this time next year, if we kept it as 500, we could have another 100 between now and then. So maybe it's an exaggeration, but you never know. So this is kind of, you know, better to start it now rather than later. So it'll be June the 8th, guys. I'm giving you 4 weeks to get those 1,000 raindrops, and that goes for anyone who isn't yet a character who wants to be. Those of you that are currently grinding raindrops to be a character. So those of you that get in before June the 8th and submit your character, so those of you that submit between now and June the 8th, I'll be creating that batch of characters again at some point in June. So Van is one, I believe. Van's going to be submitting, and Neffel as well. He's all been with that lot too, and the reason why his is going to be done then and not now is because he's going to be an original character I'm going to be making. So I'm no character artist, so it's going to take me some time to do that and perfect it. So I'm going to spend the course of the rest of the month working on Neffle's character, and it's only the face that I need to make an original character of. We've already got the sprite. We found a really good sprite for Neffle's character, so that bit's sorted. It's just the face, because there wasn't any good enough faces that met my expectations well enough for Neffle's character. And the reason why Neffle's is so unique is because he wears a pig mask, and that is brilliant. Let's admit it now. I love pigs, so a character with a pig mask is my dream come true. And I actually want to spend time on that one and making it good. And I don't make many original characters in Raindrop Chronicles, so for time reasons. So Neffle's will just be a little bit delayed because of that. But if we can get Storms, Binaries, Legmog and Oracles done today, then hooray, good job. And I know that we have been talking the first hour of stream, so we're a bit slow. But any of those I don't do on stream today, I'll finish off stream tonight and tomorrow on my day off stream. And they will get slowly put up on Twitter each day. One or two a day I've been posting on Twitter, so I don't spam your feeds. And then once they're all done, once Storm, Binary, Legmog and Oracle are done, we'll be moving on to May's to-do task. So it'll be back to the game development stuff. And hooray. But anybody that does submit a character form will get added to the character sheets to do, and I'll do you in a bulk the next lot. Those of you that come in before June the 8th, before we raise the requirement. 1,000, I'll never get that many. Wasn't it originally 1,000? I think I remember sort of contemplating it being 1,000 at the start, Chubb, so maybe so, but I remember settling on 500 because I kind of wanted to make sure it was all very welcoming and that people, you know, wanted that they join in without feeling daunted. And because it was such a new project, I didn't want to set the bar too high. But now I think we're at a point, the project's got to a point where there's an interest in it. People are here, they're enjoying it, and they want to be a character. So because of that, it makes sense to raise it now, especially because we're getting so many submissions, and we want to make sure we keep that quality over quantity. As I put here in this section, I want to make sure the characters that are submitted all get their chance to shine in the game. That's important. So the more we have, the less chance that we get to really make your characters good. So I think it's best for us all. These things cannot be rushed, yay, for sure. Hyping you being slow. We'll do it though. We'll get it done, Legmark. The anticipation is what gets us excited after all. And hi Diver, how you doing? I would need to lose a few thousand to get to that number, lol. And for sure, 1,000 might seem a bit like a lot, but it really isn't when you look at what Chub Cheeks and Rex have got. Like, they've got so many raindrops. And having a playable character in Raindrop Chronicles is my new goal in life. Oh, that's nice for God, and that's so sweet. Thank you so much for your positivity in the stream. I appreciate you. And how dare you talk to your community? What sort of streamer do you think you are? Oh, right, a lovely one. LOL, Diver. You're funny. The audacity. Hi, Diver. It's a good job I know Diver, and I know him to be the kind person he is. Because imagine if, like, a troll came in saying that, I'd be banning him. They'd be banned. Because... But Diver would never get banned. Ever. I just hear because I love watching game development. Yay, hi Rim. I'm curious, what are your favourite things about watching game development, if you had to say? Is there anything in particular? I always like knowing these things. And Chubb's here, party's over. I spent a lot of time subs, so it's not quite high. So it's got quite high. Yeah, that's a point as well, guys. I don't say this often because I don't want to come across like I'm trying to grab all your money, chat, but you do get double raindrops if you are a sub. And of course, nobody has to do that, especially in times like this. I want people to enjoy the content and the stream, whether they're a sub or not a sub. So no pressure at all. But it's just an incentive for those of you that are kind enough to support me in that way, to get that double raindrop boost. And I spent a lot of time, yeah, we barely have any points. I'm a troll, I am happy, fun troll though. Yeah, as long as you're a nice troll, you're very welcome. And thank you, Sir Rackley, for the follow, I appreciate that. Welcome to the stream. It's hard to really sum it up other than enjoying watching how a simple concept gets transformed into a finished project and the unique ideas that are used to get there. Awesome. Yeah, I definitely see that, why that would be an appeal. And it's exciting for me as well, for the same reason. Like, making a game is exciting for that exact reason. Just seeing the progress and how it builds over time. That Rose is such a crash grab. She is worse than a LOL. Imagine it. That I'm EA. I'm EA summed up in one person. I am Kappa. I recently cut a lot of subs, but you made the cut, so I kept my sub with you. Oh, thank you, Kia. That's very kind. I mean, you know, we all, like me. I mean, this doesn't go for everybody, but of course, I would love to be able to make a living doing this project, and that dream is very, very way off. But of course, that is something that I, as a creative person who loves what I want to do, would love to do that in my life. But you know, people like you, it's very kind to know that you're out there and want to help. And so Rackley, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Anyway, let's submit this. Right, I think that's all good. We've not got typos, have we? No typos, I hope. There we go. Tweet. So we got the next character up on the Twitter. Twitter's weird though, guys, I will admit it, how it does its images lately. I mean, some of them appear like that and others appear halfway, and I think it's to do with the length of the image, but screw you, Twitter. You're a meanie poo. Don't like you anymore. And right, guys, so yeah, just I'm kind of spending a lot of this stream today telling people about this because I want to make sure everyone knows. I know that not everybody probably looks at my Discord 24/7, so that's why I want to make sure you all know. And here we are, characters section. So we can add Zexy into this now. Twitter has decided it wants to display the images in full all of a sudden now. Never used to do this. It must have done it because I demanded it to. Wow. There we go. So this is our little list of all characters, guys. So this is probably the easiest place to view everybody, apart from the website. Especially if you don't have a PC, then probably easy to look. The music's on. Oh, there we go. Wow. Okay, I don't even know how that happened. I must have pressed a key or something. Thank you for letting me know. Might want to fix that. So yeah, how long was it like that for? Probably not that long. But yeah, I go off on a ramble sometimes and then I don't realise. But thanks for letting me know, chat. Hi Yorkshire, how you doing? That pulled me out of lurk, now I can go back to lurk. Since you complained about Twitter pics, so not long, yeah. But yeah, yay, I'm glad I've got a chat that are kind and tell me these things. Imagine if I spent the whole stream with the music like that. Imagine that. Finally joined the Discord. Yay, thank you, Forgotten. It's good to have you there. And I hope you enjoy your lurk as well, Moon. And I posted a picture for my latest map in Creative Works. It's a very beautiful. Oh, awesome, Kia. I'll have a little peep at that after as well. Yeah, guys, make full use of the Creative Work channel. For sure. Do you have many levels yet or anything? Me? Or, yeah, I assume you're talking to me unless you mean Kia for his response to the Creative Work channel. But if you mean me, Yorkshire, we have, I mean, I can actually just get it up on the website because it's right here. We have, the world section is going to kind of be the place where I update what we've done in terms of levels and world and areas and cities and towns and all that. I'm going to kind of regularly keep it updated as we work on the game. So we only had the one region so far. It's Lakefall and Everbloom Forest, and this map is a map in progress, by the way. So it's things might change, like the shape could very well change. It all depends on what we create, and you know. So yeah, it's just the lush enchanted Everbloom Forest and the settlement of Lakefall, the untroubled settlement of Lakefall, which is, it's all a very foresty, flowery area. And I kind of like say that we're going to spend time here, we're going to have side quests here, we're going to really expand the lore of this area and make it a really living, breathing village as much as possible. It's not going to be somewhere we just are like, okay, we've put some enemies here and we've bought some weapons, bye now, we'll go to the next place. I don't want to do that. I actually want to spend time in this place, and I think there's a lot of potential to do that in each of the regions. I think we can, you know, spend time in the places we create, especially because we take a good portion of time making the maps, don't we? I mean, Everbloom Forest, how long did it take me to make those maps? We want to make the most of it because of that reason as well. We don't want to say bye too fast after all that hard work, do we? So yes, it'll, in all honesty, guys, we'll probably be in Everbloom Forest and Lakefall for all of episode 1. It will probably be our episode 1 place, and I totally would be okay with having one region per episode if the region, you know, was thick enough, as in enough, heavy with enough content and quests. If we got like 4 main quests and you know, 10 side quests out of one region, then I think that's worthy enough of being an episode. So yeah, we'll see how the world builds over time, because, you know, we're kind of improvising and revealing this world as we go along as well. One thing we do know is that there's a farm nearby, because there was a flashback. There's a flashback scene that we've had, which you'll see in the Story So Far video, the next one that we do. And that was a farm place. So that we do know, because of that flashback, that there is a farm nearby. And that could very well be our next region. For a couple of reasons, I'd like it to be our next region. One, it's Rose was a farmer once, so it would be a chance to bring in her backstory and flesh her out more. The fact, because she actually, before she was a vampire, she was a farm girl. And it feels relevant to open up her backstory about that when we finally do get to a farm. And also because we made the maps there and they look very pretty, and we talked about the scarecrows and the pigs and the kind of stories they could have. So it feels like a good opportunity to expand on that section once we've finished Everbloom Forest. But my goodness, we're going to have more. David's character talks about living in the mountains, and I could imagine this place here could be mountains above to the north of Everbloom Forest. That could be the place that after that. And there's just, you know, desert. Chubcheek's character mentions desert in his Google Docs. Akira's character mentioned talk of a mirrored version of the Everbloom Forest that's a really sort of dark version of the bright and summery Everbloom Forest, and that could be, you know, on the opposite end of the map, like a mirror version of it. Who knows? There's just so much opportunity, guys, and we'd make all these decisions together and it'd be fun. LOL, I might be a trickster, but I wouldn't even let someone's hard work overlook something they care about. Yeah, trickster is trickster on a list of playable characters. I remember having something like that there, or it might have been gambler. Could be gambler. But that sounds like a cool character. I don't know how that happened. Must have pressed a key or something. Ah, yes, this is a curse of the world's problems, to be fair. The Roman Empire fell. Don't know how that happened. Must have pushed the wrong key. Zombies, how did this happen? Must have pressed the wrong key. Yep, that is going to be my excuse for anything that bad happens from now on. That's my new catchphrase, like Mark. I love thick regions, both in RPGs and feminine. Oh my goodness, like Mark. Hello, Moonshadow. Oh, hi, welcome, Yorkshire Pudding. Yay, so many cool ideas. Hello, Rex. I do, in fact, live on a mountain in Raindrop Chronicles. You do. And one thing I am going to like is maybe one stream. Once we've had everybody's come through after June the 8th, we can open up everybody's character sheets and have a good pick out of things and be like, okay, so where would everybody be from? And places they could likely live in. And we could like, you know, just think, oh, well, you know, it'll help us like get an idea of when we're going to encounter these characters when we eventually get to different regions on the map. And it wouldn't hurt to like plan out the different areas that could be outside the Everbloom Forest and far beyond the Everbloom Forest. I mean, we don't have to be rigid about where they're positioned. We could always move them if we felt that they could be better elsewhere. But it would be fun to do something like that to have an idea in mind. Hi, Schmexy Rexy, yeah. I've never had a Yorkshire pudding before. You have? You had one when you came to England, remember? And you liked it, didn't you? Yorkshire puddings are good. You're missing out, Rex, but you are a dinosaur, so it's okay, I'll forgive you. Dinosaurs have never experienced the joy of Yorkshire puddings. How tragic. Okay, guys, so we have recently posted Zexian's character on here. I miss Zexian. He is a really kind person and he used to send really nice tweets to me like this. Those are the sort of things I like to see, guys, just so you know. That is wholesome. So, we got notifications. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for the notifications. I appreciate it. Okay, so we are going to, we've got him on the Discord now, haven't we? Yep, so look at our playable characters list slowly building here. I've put new icons by the ones that are new. And then I'll eventually get rid of those new icons once they've been there a while. And once we add the next batch, they'll have new there instead after that. So we can now put a tick by Zexians. We can actually get rid of him now. We can archive him. So, I wish there was a way to like put little subheadings actually. But never mind. I still think it's really nice, this Trello pages. I think it's really pretty. Okay, I need some sweets. Oh, what sweets are you getting? Oh, but for real, I don't remember it. I'm sorry for accidentally lying to everyone. You don't remember the Yorkshire pudding? Oh my goodness, wait till my parents hear this. My goodness me, careless Rex. You know that feel I have such a sweet tooth. You don't remember the Yorkshire pudding? That's my favourite thing. That is like my #1 favourite thing, Yorkshire puddings. I guess I'll just have to have more. You will. I'll have to have another when you come again. Chocolate pudding. Chocolate's good too. Welcome to the archive, sexy and lol. Okay guys, so my little pigtails keep falling and going flat. Right, so we've got Storm now, and oh my goodness, today we have not done any work, which is fine. You know, I say that streams are about chatting, so that's what they're about. That's what they are about, guys. Okay, so let's see if we can get 4 character sheets done in an hour and a half, shall we? It did take me only like 10 minutes to do Zexians off stream. I'll be honest, it took just 10 minutes to do Zexians. So I can actually do them really fast when I'm not streaming. But that's to be expected, I guess. Right, so I'm going to get Storms up. Now, Storms is actually in the Raindrop Chronicles ideas discussion. I'm going to get it up. Dreams of broadcasting yourself live through the internet. They are. They are indeed. Okay. So, Storm has written up a really detailed Google Doc for his character, which is awesome. But he's also done the brief answers as well to what we've got on our character sheets. So, I'll have to remember to keep this doc somewhere. But everything's in the ideas discussion channel, so I'll probably make them pinned messages if I can. Can I? I can, yes. I can make other people's pinned messages, so that's good. So I need to look at how much information is going to be on his bio, because then I'll know who to use as a template. Right, so probably not Zexians because there's a bit more on Storms. Probably use Glacians actually as a template. I think that the bio section probably would be about the same length. So we'll use this one. I'm gonna get breakfast. I hope it's yummy. Hope it's super yummy. Let us know what you get. I bet it's Pop-Tarts, isn't it? I was soiling. Oh, I was wrong. Damn it. I wanted to be bright and look smart and clever. Okay, so Storm Eagle 999. And Storm Eagle will he's always going to be remembered for what he did to Stumpy. For those of you that don't know who Stumpy is the most precious enemy that you'll ever see in this game. Ever. I think there's a tweet on Stumpy actually. Let me find it. Here's Stumpy. That's Stumpy, guys. Storm Eagle made some assets of Stumpy dead. He made some assets of him dead, and they're going to be used in a side quest. So that is one side quest that is definitely going to be in the game, because I cannot say no to a Stumpy focus side quest in Raindrop Chronicles episode 1. And it's here. The video is above it of when I first laid eyes on those Stumpy dead assets and was heartbroken. Anyway, let's get on it. I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of insight into Storm Eagle, because we haven't seen him in a bit, and I hope he's alright. And Moonshadow, you're so talented. Let me know if any flies bugs you. I'll punch their nose for you. I've got a few hidden talents. Moonshadow's biggest talent is being really, really a flatterer to me and Rex. That's Moonshadow's biggest talent. One of his biggest talents anyway. He has a way with words. Watch out, we have a badass over here. I'm a badass too. Okay, so his name is... Also, I will hide Glacian's graphics because it... There we go. Is it going to fit there? Is it going to fit? It might do. When the names have got too long on these character sheets, I've tended to make the text just a bit smaller. Let me have a look, because I think I did that for Elite's character. Oh, I did it for Chub Cheeks, is actually, not Elite's. But Chub Cheeks is going to be changing the name of his character. So I need to update Chub's character sheet as well. That will be one that I'll do alongside Neffels in the next batch. I think it's size 14 text, I don't know, because it's pixel text it can look a bit weird if it's not the right size. But I think that's fine. I mean, it could have been fine as it was. It just about fit on. It just about did. I might keep it like that. Okay, so as for his race and class, this one is not black and white. So let me think. I'm getting hungry. Well, I've got no snacks. Oh no. Give me snacks, chat. Okay, so I'm not going to fill in the this bit yet, because this one might be a sub race. by the sounds of it. And I want to just get a bit more insight into this character before I like put that down. Okay, so my condolences. You want snacks? Okay, I have plenty of raw kale and beetroot for you. Enjoy. Oh no, I want chocolate. I want chocolate. Afternoon, Rose. Hey, chat. Hi, Asriel. How you doing? So good to see you, Asriel. How has your Monday been treating you? Hope it's been kind to you. Okay, so okay. An antagonist but not a villain, as he seeks to help the poor over Caucus who were just like him, though he is not the nicest person to face, as he finds most humans greedy and two-faced. Once people once break the line of hatred. Okay, right, let me get this down. I'm probably going to wish I used white Watts now as a template, because it might be a bit longer than I thought. Hi Rose, it's not much, but it's all I've got. Hi National, how you doing? Look at those cute emotes. Now I want that food. I wonder what's in that purple heart box. Looks like there's chocolate in that one, so I'll eat those. Going pretty well, thanks. My days haven't changed much. Working in IT just now, on site visits for now. How was your weekend? Not too bad, Asriel. It went by really fast though. And no on site visit for now. Well, that's cool. I hope that you aren't made to be super busy and worked off your feet. That wouldn't be right. Okay, Rose, I sent you a message in Discord. Awesome, Van. I'll have a look at that after stream with a question. Awesome, that's cool. I'll be there to answer. Right, so hang on, guys. This one's a more of a complicated one, and I kind of wish I did it off stream because it's there's such a backstory with this character. Storm Eagle has gone all out with this and made a Google Doc, which is great. If someone wants to do with that character, I encourage it. But because of that, it's making it, you know, me taking in the information. I mean, he's still filled in the form and answered the questions that are required for the character sheets, but it's so in depth. So for that reason, I'm gonna go back to Storms. I'm gonna do Storms off stream because I think it's gonna be easier to do binaries, legmogs, and oracles on stream today. So I'll go back to that one. So let's get. So first, it's binary ferret. So binary ferrets are made a minor NPC, and he's a merchant. He's like the parallel of Juice's character, and Juice's character is a reptile merchant, and it's pretty cool. Okay, so Google Forms is being very slow and being slow. It's doing this, which is total silly that it chooses to do it now, but maybe it'll start working in a second. There we go. Okay, so it's working now. Good. Okay, so I'm gonna just slowly fill this in. I'm gonna just see how much we got to fill in, so I've got an idea of the size. Okay, so I think we could use Master Emeralds as a template for this one, because I don't think there's a bio. So we'll save it as binary fair. It'd be really cool if we could get all three, binary, Oracle and Legmog done, but I'm not sure because a lot of the time has been spent today talking. But yeah, I'll be doing them off stream because I'd like to do something else on Wednesday's stream with you guys. Okay, and Stu, thank you for the follow. Welcome. It's good to have you here. Hope you're having a good Monday. Okie doke, so binary ferret. Sometimes after, I think if I put 2 T's there, I don't think it's got 2 T's, has it? So, go. His name is Jack. And he is a canine merchant. And I can't spell. Okay. Happy to see more characters. Yay, Raindrops. Oh, you're not far from the 500 national. So we have a new announcement in the Discord. It's going to be increased to 1,000 Raindrops, but not until another 4 weeks. So you guys have got time. I wanted to allow you guys at least a month to, you know, if you're close to that 500, to not miss a chance of getting in before the increase. So yes, 4 weeks. I believe you can do it. I'm happy to see more characters too, and there'll probably be another bulk, another group of characters that come in before the June the 8th. I'm expecting that for a few people to get in their characters before the increase of Raindrops. So I'm gonna put all you guys that do submit forms into the Trello on character sheets to do once we've done these new ones, and I'm gonna put some time aside to get all those done at some point in June. Okay, and I don't think minor NPCs have goals, do they? I'm going to get Juice's character up as it so I can compare it to make sure the layout's the same. Oh, okay, so I actually put Reptile Citizen. For that one. Because the minor NPCs do tend to be citizens, in all honesty, but it doesn't always have to be the case, you know. Did I do that for the other minor NPCs too? Because I need a word to sum up the minor NPCs because they don't have a class. So I can't put their job like sorcerer or, you know, mage or whatever, because they're not a player or character. And they're not an antagonist or an ally either. So for that reason, they wouldn't have that after their race either. So I think that's why I stuck on standard citizen. Because it's a general way to sum them up. My girls type gibberish. Oh, did they steal your keyboard, Sephiroth? That's funny. That's funny. So first I thought that I was going to put their livelihood there, but not every minor NPC would necessarily have a livelihood either, so it's probably better to be more to keep it as citizen. I know that some minor NPCs we have in the future might break that because they might not technically be a citizen, but you know, citizen just does feel like a generic word that would probably be good for a minor NPC, seeing as a lot of them are tied to their place of home, which if you've read the character forms, that's the kind of difference between minor NPCs and major ones. Minor ones tend to be people who live in a town or a village and have a livelihood there, and major ones tend to be travellers and adventurers and wanderers that are a bit more of a reoccurring character. And of course, major NPCs could have lived somewhere or could live somewhere too, but they're just a little bit more prominent in the story and tend to fall under the antagonist or ally bracket, whereas minor NPCs are a little bit more neutral, unless you make an enemy of them, of course, or a friend, while helping them on your travels. Okay, so they don't have a goal, so we're gonna get rid of that one, which means what we do is we do it like this. We just put their sprite there, but without the goal. So we'll get the sprites in now. That's the next job. Hello, the game looks nice. What are you using to make it? Hi, Mojib. We have a command here. So it's RPG Maker MV we're using. So if you want to read more about that, there's a link there. Feel free to answer any questions and welcome to the stream. It's lovely to have you here. And happy Monday. Look at this dapper pupper. Look at him. both of these are merchants. Look how different they are. They are very different, by the way. You couldn't get two polar opposite merchants in this game. Couldn't get any more different if you tried. One of them's sly and the other's super friendly. One of them is trying to steal all the money they can, and the other actually tries to, you know, make their customers happy. So we're gonna keep that sprite there just for a reference, and so we can just get it all in position properly. Great, thanks, you're welcome. You're super welcome. And RPG Maker, it's a nice, quite easy to pick up software for anybody that isn't really a game maker or is new to game development, or anybody that really kind of wants to make an RPG, like a retro RPG, and you know, hasn't really got much experience with game making. I mean, I started using it since I was like 12, so yeah, you can be like a kid and sort of use it. Might be a bit rubbish. Like my games when I was 12 was nothing you know, to brag about, but I still wish I had them though. I'd have loved to have had them. I could have shown you all. There we go, he's there. Now, what spacing do I have here? About 18 pixels. Right, so we just need to shift everything up, which is easy enough. Since I've done a new template, it's pretty easy to do. Oopsie, we forgot the border. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. He's sweet. He's a nice doggo. Gaia's Melody is a good game. Oh, thanks for recommendation, Yorkshire. What platform is that one on? Oh, let me read. Keir actually mentioned it, and I've only just noticed that. Sometimes I don't realise that chat have actually said loads, and I look at the bottom first, and then I realise like you've all spoken and said so much since I last looked. Let's read it. So as you said, once payday comes round, I should be picking up another Humble bundle. I will always use your link, Rose. I have music bundle just now. Nice replace. Oh, thank you, Asriel. You were super kind. Have I got a Humble bundle command? I've spelt it wrong. I think I do. Maybe not. I forgot. Is it Humble? I swore I had a Humble bundle command, but it's in the panels anyway, guys. If you're curious and you want to buy anything on there, My link is in the panels. Thank you, Azrael. Guys, Magi is a good RPG Maker and V game. The person who made it put out tutorial videos and really helped me learn a lot of the basics. That's really nice. I mean, I deleted my tutorial videos because it just ended up becoming too consuming of my time, because I did have a tutorial video up on YouTube and it got 5k views. There was a lot of interest in it, and I was getting lots of messages. It ended up being a weekly thing, probably more by few people every week, asking questions about it and expanding on. I mean, I think the tutorial said enough, but people always want to know more and understand more, and it just became too much. So I had to think, look, I decided I wasn't going to be a teacher, and that I'm sticking to just making a game, because you can only do so much, can't you? And but I think it's lovely that there's people out there that actually do dedicate their time to those sort of things, if they get the time to, of course. You played it too. A lot of love went into it. Awesome. I should look into that one. I was like, what platform's it on? And then I realised it was a RPG Maker and V game all along. Okay, so let's fill in this sweet doggo's traits. So, he's joyful, optimistic. Honest, spontaneous. Reckless, open-minded, talkative and traditional. To those that don't describe it, thank you, Ezra. I appreciate that. I was too preoccupied to check the command, and I'm pretty sure I have one. I must have either unticked it or it must be something else. One or the other. Appreciate you putting the link in chat. Okay, so let's just double check that I've got the right ones. Joyful, optimistic, honest, spontaneous. Reckless, open-minded, talkative and traditional. Yeah. All good. So, compared to Juice's merchant character, what's the difference between them? I'm curious, because these are our two only merchants in the game so far. So it's nice to see the parallel. So they're both very happy, optimistic types, which, do you know a merchant that isn't? No, I don't. But one is deceitful and one is honest. And one is rebellious and one is traditional. So we've got the traditional honest doggo, and we've got the rebellious, deceitful reptile, and that sums up the stereotype of their races. I'd say doggos, the kind, honest, loyal ones, always wanting to please. Reptiles, the sly, sneaky ones. But of course, I like to challenge these stereotypes that the world have. I'd like to do that in our game. None of them seem to sit right. Maybe they'll spark something nicer. Denizens, populous, dewdrops the masses, prevailing wins individuals. I've met surly merchants. Yeah. But those are some good words. I don't know if that they'd fit with to sum them up here. I mean, because I've already used citizen for the other 4 that we've done for consistency, I'd probably want to keep it the same. But But yeah, you never know, we could get a minor NPC that isn't a citizen one day. Someone that just lives in, you know, in the wilderness and has rebelled against society, you know, that could be a thing. But it's easy enough to change the character sheets if we have to, if we think of another word that we could use to sum them up better. I just have to redo the others. There's only 4 other minor NPCs. Not that either. Yeah, I'm curious now. I'm going to have a look and see what's happened to that command. Seems I don't even have one. I have one for the stream gifts, but I don't have one for the Humble Bundle, so that's one I'll have to do. Canine work visa holder. Lol. Welcome, by the way, Dongs. How you doing? Could just be like, this is a canine. Yeah, that's true. I think it's because I've been so descriptive, like with the other character sheets, like, you know, put elf, dragon, tamer, elf, chronomancer, fairy antagonist, like here they all are. You know, they've all got that pretty descriptive subtitle, and then just having canine, it makes him seem like he's not as epic in comparison, I suppose. So I wanted to give those minor NPCs a little something. But I think citizen fits right now. I'll face that problem if I ever come to that problem where we have a minor NPC that isn't a citizen technically. Then we'll face that when we come to it. And maybe, you know, we can use another word then. Because mainly, you know, most people are going to be a citizen somewhere. And maybe they're a better fitting major NPC if they're not, if they don't fall under being a citizen. Okay, so now this bit. So, what is your biggest flaw? What is your biggest fear? And anything else you'd like to tell us about yourself? So, those are the questions that we've got that Binary Ferret has filled in. Also, we've got a... I don't know what's happened to our minor NPC banner, but it's gone. Have to get it back off another sheet. Because we've got a playable character at the moment, and that's not what he is, so... Right, so... Probably got cropped off when I did the resizing, is probably what happened. Okay, so what is your biggest flaw? And his flaw is this. Let's get it in. Okay, so it's written in third person, so we'll have to change it to first. I'm overly excited to offer great wares, but my eagerness to please often means I reduce my costs. I probably shouldn't be a merchant. There we go. Could just be like, yeah, easily distracted by small animals. Yeah, we don't know, because this was originally Release's character sheet we're using, what was filled in for her for him. So she's the one that's easily distracted, but we don't know what actually easily distracts her yet. It's all a big mystery. Okay, so So now his biggest fear is, I'll just copy and paste. I have a very standard dog personality, so my biggest fear is not being liked. This is an interesting one. Like, he's a merchant that wants to please and reduces his costs. I do wonder, like, where he would show up. Like, maybe he'd be one of these merchants that just show up somewhere randomly as a reward, if like as a sort of treat for you, as a way to get weapons cheap or supplies cheap or items cheap. But maybe he only like appears if you've during certain times or something. It feels like he's like a merchant that you'd want to encounter, because like you'd want your stuff for cheap, wouldn't you? You'd be like, yes, like we can buy things for cheap now with him. So if you saw him, you'd be very happy, because you'd be like, yes, now we can get all our stuff for cheap. You have to attract him with tasty foods. Yeah, maybe there's something like we could think of that draws him. You know, I feel like he should be one that appears. Maybe he wouldn't be one that's tied to a village. He could be like that travelling merchant type. And yeah, he'd still fall under being a citizen. He could like reside somewhere still, but it feels like a waste to have him just be in one town when he's so appealing in the way that you can get things for cheap from him. He's someone you kind of would like to encounter throughout the game, I'd say, to get things at a good price. Because it would be a missed opportunity if he was there once in one area but never again. Can he be tied to having certain PCs in your party? That's another idea too. Like, if you have a canine in your party, maybe he appears then. But something that stood out was it says he's standoffish with the feline race. We haven't filled that in the profile yet, so if you had a feline in your party, then he wouldn't come to you then, maybe, as well. Maybe there could be a number of boxes to tick for him to appear, you know. And if you've got certain things, like you've got a feline in your party, then he wouldn't be there. And maybe if you know, there could be a number of criteria to me. But I think that's pretty an interesting one. I'm going to actually copy and paste what you guys have said and put about Binary's character. About Binary Ferret's character. Oh wait, we're not making this up from scratch. Yes, we are, dongs. It's basically that. Yes, we just talk and we share ideas together, and I collect them all the ideas that chat say. Unless you meant in another way about making up from scratch. There's a lot of meanings that sentence could have. So certain parts of the story must have X NPC in the party, or that XMP at certain points add dialogue. Yeah, so yeah, I think that's a good one. If there's a certain NPC in the party, then for sure that could be a reason he appears. If that's what you mean as well, Asriel. But I'm going to copy what you've said as well, Asriel. So I've copied what Dongs National and Asriel have said about that, because I think that's an interesting thing to consider with Binary Ferret's character myself. Because it seems like the stuff he would sell would be cheap because of this, his flaw. But it's a good thing for us, a bad thing for him, but a good thing for us. But somebody like Juicy's character, he's also a merchant. He likes to trick people to sell stuff, this one does, and he lies. So he's actually different. He might actually sell stuff that's not really that valuable for a high price. You know, like he could be one of those. So that's another one to consider as well. He could be, I imagine him being in a city somewhere, but he could also be a travelling merchant too. I imagined him being at a merchant stall in a bustling city, but could be either, could also be a travelling one. Anyway, guys, I'm going to quickly just go to the toilet because I've been having a lot of water. So I won't be long, guys. I'll probably get myself a snack while I'm gone as well. And then we'll get back and we'll carry on with this. Have him light and say some random trinkets are quest items. Yeah, I think I'm going to save something like that as well about Juicy's character. So, because he could be one who is the complete opposite of Binary's character, and instead of selling things for cheap to do you a favour, he actually sells things for a rip-off. That you're like, well, what's this do? What's this item? And maybe it's going to be super handy. Maybe the item would be really good for something, but it could also be completely useless. Could be one of those mysterious items that you wished you picked up because it actually pays off having later on in a certain way, but also might not pay off at all. It could just be pointless. Yeah, you could sell mysterious trinkets for high prices, something like that for sure. Had a character called the Hermit who would trade really valuable items for worthless trinkets. Oh really? And what would motivate someone to actually trade those valuable items for worthless trinkets? Did the worthless trinkets actually even do anything? Or do you mean they'd give the worthless trinkets for valuable items? I'm just trying to understand why someone would do that, and I want to make sure I understand, because it could be a good inspiration for this, you know. Player would give trinkets to the Hermit. Oh right, so you find the worthless trinkets and then you give them to the Hermit and he gives you valuable items for those worthless trinkets. That's really cool. That's another really interesting merchant type, and he probably doesn't fit with the two merchants we have here, but who knows? He could be a future character, someone similar maybe. But yeah, I just interesting, like thinking of all these little things, you know. So I'll be back in a sec, guys. I'll be a few minutes and we'll carry on with this character sheet when I'm back. Feel free to chat amongst yourselves. Hello, I am back. Okay. Maybe they could give the junk to an aspiring artist type character to use in some kind of art piece. That's a cool one as well, because we actually have even, this early on in the game, we've even introduced painters in the game. We've got the first boss are actually painters, and Rose has been painting, so you know, going with an art kind of thing wouldn't be out the ordinary right now, even though that'll probably be something introduced much later when we actually get enough junk to collect. But I like it, and it's worth noting down and putting in my notepad file for sure. Yes, there's an idea to roll with perhaps to an adventuring party of mice to equip themselves for dangerous travel. An adventuring party of mice. Okay, so I'm just going to copy all of it. Feel free, of course, to expand on anything, guys. I always like making these notes because one day we'll need them. If we ever have a stream where it's going to be about talking about merchants, all this will be brought back up. So thank you for welcome back, Azriel. So thank you for your ideas, chat. Okay, so where were we? All right, so we have missed a question off here, by the way, because we have an extra question with minor NPCs, which is what is your livelihood, which we don't have for major NPCs and playable characters. So we'll just copy and paste that. We'll sort out, make it a bit tidier after. So it is, what do you do for a living? Wow, my typing today. It basically has to. So, what do you do for a living? And do you have any family in town as well? So, merchant. I'm a merchant. Right, we might need to make this character sheet a little bit bigger. Because we've got more questions to fit on. I'm just going to hide this logo for now, just so we've got room to put everything. Ignore the book collection bit, because that's actually Master Emerald's answer. We can use Binary Ferret's character sheet for future templates for other minor NPCs then. This is the first time we're doing a minor NPC with our new approach, our new template structure. So, do you have any family in town? I think he said no as well. So, most of these NPCs I've noticed don't have family, but I always think it's a useful question to ask because it can really flesh out. It just gives a chance to fill the town they live in with more NPCs and have them have a relationship with each other, rather than just be NPCs that have got no link or no connection to each other. But for certain ones, like merchants, a lot of them are travelling merchants, some of them, so they probably wouldn't have the family with them at least. So, do you have any family in town? No. What are the other questions? So we've got your biggest flaw, so we've got that one. Biggest fear, dog personality yet. And the last question is, anything else you'd like to tell us about yourself? He is standoffish with the feline race, so that will be our last bit of information. Which is to be expected. I'm kind of, you know, it's been established now that there is a sort of a conflict between the felines and canines now that we know this. I mean, it could just be exclusive to Binary Ferret's character, but I'd say it would make sense if the felines and canines didn't like each other. I'm standoffish with the feline race. Okay, so I think that's it. I don't think there's any more information now. So all we need to do is just get the spacing right. And we're done. And of course we'll have to change the banner as well because we have playable character written and he's not a playable character. No, but I'm sweet on some other character from the town, so maybe someday. Oh, what character? Some other character. I'm curious now, very curious what that's all about. Dongs. I just want to make sure I've got the spacing right because I'm a bit of a fuss pot. I like to make sure everything's right. So okay, so grab all the text and bring it down a bit. Droll, thank you so much for the host. How you doing? Thank you very much. I hope you're having a good Monday. That would be a possible entry under family and town question. Oh, for you? Oh, right. Sweet, I get it now. I understand. He wants to make babies. A canine baker would be fun. Making actually edible dog treats. Yeah, honestly, there's so many creative minor NPC ideas, like as in pure citizen characters that live in towns and villages. Like you could come up with so many creative ones just from them alone, not even thinking about playable characters and the antagonists and allies of the story, just the neutral citizen NPC characters. And we're going to need a lot of them because there's going to be a lot of towns to fill over time with lots of NPCs, and of course a lot of them are going to be non-community NPCs. We'll just make NPCs ourselves as well to fill up towns and places. We're not just gonna be using community characters in this game alone, of course, so we'll have a chance to create some fun ones together in the future. And as well, I mean, in Lakefall we've already sort of got all the NPCs and they're all human as well, so they're all boring. They're all just humans in Lakefall, but there's so much room for fleshing them out. Still, we only really know a little basic thing about each of them. So I'm really looking forward to revisiting Lakefall and fleshing out the NPCs and considering side quests and the whole world building of the area, which we'll be doing in July, I'd say. Because the rest of this month and June are going to be about tidying everything up, getting everything everything that we've done so far at a good standard and ready for a playable build. And then after that, we'll be thinking more about adding the new exciting stuff. And Crack, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome. Hope you're having a good day. And I'm good. How about you? I'm doing decently, Troll. I'm doing decently. And you awesome people in chat make that my mood even better. And by the way, National, I'm saving what you said. Okay, so just tidying up this. Do you have any family in town? So need more space in here. Yeah, we're definitely going to need more room. We are squishy squashed, and we have a logo as well still to get in, so I'm gonna make more room. We might, yeah, we probably will still have to crop it because this will probably be a bit much. Also, I will remember to change this banner, by the way, because we need to change it to mono NPC, but unfortunately we don't have a text layer here, so I'm gonna have to get it from another character sheet. Okay, copy the background, bring it down. There we go. Okay, I think that is all good. I've got the logo, so we'll... Obviously, we don't want that over the text. I submitted an NPC a few weeks back after Lacey told me who you were. Very much looking to Raindrop Chronicles. Thank you. Also, Drawl, I mean, we do have unfortunately, we do have a requirement to be an NPC in the game, and we do it simply to keep things under control in terms of submissions, because we do get quite a few people come to the stream. So at the moment, it's 500 raindrops to be a character in the game, which is our stream currency. But it will be changing. An announcement's being put up on the Discord today, actually. It's in the important news channel, so it's going to be changing to 1,000. So yes, it is double, but we have a lot of characters getting submitted, so it's very important you know, to make sure things don't get crazy. So it's like here, you know, this is something that's going to be ongoing for a long time, and the longevity of the project depends on, you know, we're not having like that hundreds over all this time. So for that reason, that's why it's going up. But wait, can we just make up a minor characters if they're not us though? Oh yeah, like Dongs, there will be non-community characters in the game, which is what I said earlier. There will be streams when we just sit here and we want to fill a village or a town with NPCs, and we might say, okay guys, let's think of some NPCs we can put in this village then. And they'll just be, obviously there won't be you or your character, but it's still super creative and fun to do that sort of thing. But those sort of streams are going to be few and far between, because we're not going to be moving on to a new village anytime soon. Probably not till episode 2, in all honesty. So when we move to the next region and the next village, there will be an opportunity to create a bunch of new NPCs. But episode 1 has to come out first, because we've already done that village for episode 1. Fabio, thank you so much for the follow. How are you doing? It's good to see you. Hi Goblin, welcome back. It's good to see you again. How's the RPG project going? It's going decently. We're having good chats today, aren't we? We guys, we've been having a good old rambling about some cool ideas and things. Richard, thank you so much for those bitters. How you doing, Richard? Doggo bitters, thank you. Appreciate that. Is that 10 bitters there, is it? How you doing, Richard? Ignore that resolution went on my stream. It's now 2 roses. Was the 2 roses on the stream? Yeah, sometimes when I have my internet open, which I do, so you guys can see my Discord and all these things. Sometimes I accidentally click the Twitch link and then you see double rows. Oh, it's understandable for sure. Yeah, Drawlin. I mean, obviously that's not your fault. You didn't know that there was a requirement to be a character, but unfortunately that's something we have to do, and it's a nice reward for those of you that have spent time in the stream, and to be able to, you know, get your own character and stuff. But yes, there's no rush either. Like this character thing is going to be going on for until I'm an old lady. But yes. But I hope you're having a good Monday, guys. Do you have a current build that you can demo and stream, or are you still in the pre-production stages? Well, Goblin, funnily enough, as I mentioned that just before you came in, was just talking about, because I've got a Trello page here, and I've got an important releases section right here. And first playable build currently is dated for the summer. So it's currently June, July, but it might be August if, you know, sometimes we want to make things extra perfect, don't we? So we'll see how it goes. But that's kind of an estimate at the moment. And because at the moment it's all about polishing. There's some dialogue and scenes to finish. There's battle mechanics stuff to really polish, skill trees to tidy up, as well as tidying up the menus, the option choices, and the mapping, any weird visual glitches, and even adding just small features and improvements as well as obvious bug fixing. So really the next couple of months are going to be about that, and just finalising things, because there's a lot of unfinished things like that really just need more time spent on them to get completely polished and ready. And I think once these tasks are done in May and June, we'll be at a state where we can think about releasing it then, because it's just not possible at the moment to release a build when things are not polished properly and properly working. But yeah, so July will be more about adding new things to the game. I've got a section here which will be, once July comes, we're going to be thinking about the next part of the quest, main quest 3. We'll also think about side quests we can have in Nightfall and Everbloom Forest, as well as really fleshing out the world building of the village and the NPCs and their stories. So all that new exciting stuff we'll be working on once we've actually got a build of what we've already got, you know, and we're happy with everything. Everything's workable, we've not got any silly bugs or anything going wrong. We want to just make sure it's smooth and playable first, because if we start doing all the exciting stuff and adding all this new exciting story stuff before we've done the old stuff, that's when things all get a mess, you know. So we've got to take it all a step at a time. So a lot of work to do then. Yeah, it's all about taking it a step at a time, isn't it? And in all honesty, when that first playable build comes, that will be such an achievement, because actually getting something there you can play is like, that's the exciting bit, because, you know, that's how the hype, get all the hype then, and everyone's like, whoa, we're actually playing the game. So yeah, that would be sort of seen as a demo, I guess you could see that as a demo when we finally get to that point, because basically what that'll be, that first playable build will be you being able to explore the first dungeon of the game, fight the enemies in that dungeon, level up. Well, we don't really have a standard conventional leveling up feature in our game, but you know, there's a still progression, the skill learning and stat boosts and that. So you'll be doing that, and so walking around that first dungeon, having a few little scene dialogue interactions with the main quest during that first run through the dungeon, as well as the first boss of the game. And there's quite a few little scenes in between all that, so it's quite heavy with story. But yeah, it'll be all that up to the first boss, and that'll be super cool. Be like, yay. And then that'll be the time to really go back and revisit the village, because our map, the map of the dungeon, the forest dungeon, is like a little loop. So the village is at the top, and you go round the 6 maps, and they all link in a sort of loop. So the 6th map links back to the first map. So once you've been in that 6th map and fought that boss, that 6th map will take you back to the first, and then back to Lakefall, the village, which I'm honestly picturing in my head at that point lots of side quests, well, not lots, but a few opening up once that first boss has been defeated. So you'll have an opportunity to do new things in the dungeon, and there might even be a few new secret maps as well that pop up, and few new areas that expand from the current maps that we can make to really do those side quests. So yeah, that'll be super fun. But yeah, we will be starting main quest 3 at that point too, and I honestly would be happy, I would be satisfied in episode 1 with about 4 main quests. And so we're kind of at the halfway point now of episode 1, if that's the case, if we do have 4 main quests. And those main quests are pretty thick, guys. They're pretty thick ones. They're not like over any time soon. But then you've got the side quests. And I did like at least half a dozen. Between half a dozen and a dozen side quests would be a reasonable amount of content for episode 1. But we'll see. That's just a guide at the moment. Sounds like you've got things well thought out. So will this be sold on Steam, or will it be a free game? Well, thinking about platforms is something that is still, you know, up there to be considered, and what it's going to be on and things. As for whether it's free, honestly, this whole thing started out as just a very fun, like, non-serious thing. It was going to be a big joke of a project at first, in all honesty, but as time has gone on, I've really started to take this serious, and a lot of my time is being spent on this. Like, it is a full-on job for me. So if I was going to put a price on it, like, it would obviously not be a lot of money, because it's episodic. maybe the price of a cup of coffee if I was going to go there. But if I was going to do that, there's a lot to consider, because assets and things, certain assets are only usable for people who are doing non-commercial projects. Other assets are totally usable for commercial projects as well. A lot of the ones I use are fine to use for commercial projects. So it all depends. There's just a lot of research that has to go into these things to figure out if your game is going to work, even being commercial, you know. So there'll be a time, probably once there's enough content, once I start thinking this content, we're getting quite a bit of content here, I'll probably start really putting a bit of effort into thinking about the platforms and getting everything researched more into those sort of things. Hi Aki, how you doing? It's good to see you. And what are you using to make the game? RPG Maker? Yes, it's RPG Maker. So here's the program, exclamation mark. If you want to read more about it, feel free to look. For those of you that don't really know much about it, you can find out more on that link. That actually sounds reasonable, to be honest. Take it one step at a time and see where it goes. Exactly. I mean, I'm still undecided. I want to make the best decision for myself as someone who's putting a lot of time into it, and also for the project as well, and what's best for the project. So it's something we'll see once we get to a point when I've done my research. So we'll see, guys. But yeah, I'm not going to be putting a £60 price tag on it, so don't you worry about it. It's going to be extremely reasonable. It's an episodic game after all. That's a big if. That's a big if it costs anything. And if it ever got to that stage where it did become, if it was, I would probably do a bunch of giveaways in stream as well, and people that have really contributed to the project would get a free copy. Those of you that have put a lot of, that have been very involved in it all. But as I said, it's I can't confirm whether it will be free or a commercial game yet. It's undecided for me at this time. When it all begun, I said it was going to be free, but a lot of stuff has changed since then. So I no longer promote it as a free-to-play game, because it's absolutely no clue whether I'm still going to go there. You know, us creators, we got to value ourselves, haven't we? And our time is important. Anyway, where were we? So I wanted to answer that question just because it's a good one, and I wanted to just make it clear as well what the plans were with the builds and what our current monthly schedule is like. So the Trello page has it all. I'm going to try and keep it very updated as much as possible, so you guys can be kept in the loop. Be nice chatting. You saw your channel live, so I thought I'd go show my face and say hello. We'll catch you another time. No worries, Goblin. Well, thanks for stopping by, and you have a good day. Take care. Have a good rest of your week as well. Okay, folks. So we're back to finishing binaries. So yeah, we haven't been able to knock out as many character sheets as we wanted today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, just trying to make sure I get the right margin, because I always have 18 pixels. But yes, we've not had chance to do many because we've had a very, 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 very chatty stream today, and I always love chatty streams. I'm totally fine with not getting productive during stream. I don't even expect to. I don't expect streams to be the time to be getting all focused and productive, because it's, in all honesty, it's very hard to stream and work at the same time, which is why I have 4 days off in a week, so I can actually do the work then. And I see the streams as a time where, for community discussion and just chatting about the project and sharing ideas, and people discovering about the project and more people finding out about it as well. Those are the times I sit the stream for the stream. But off stream is when I do the work. And thank you for the follow as well, Goblin. I appreciate that. So we've been doing our good boy doggo today. And I need to get a new, yeah. So we're going to just copy Juice's banner. We'll delete the playable character one because he isn't a playable character. So keyboard ASMR, that's what this stream is. Okay, so looks like he's done. I want to do a proofread later, but he's not going up on Twitter quite yet anyway. Because we've only put Zexians up a couple of hours ago. So the next one's not going to be going up just yet. Okie, welcome to the Discord, by the way. So welcome. This soya milk tastes weird now. I think it's been sitting for a while. Hopefully I don't get a bad tum-tums. Thanks, I want to follow help with the game. That's awesome. Well, it's lovely to meet you. It's lovely to see new peoples too. And sometimes, like, now I've raised the raindrop requirement as well, like we have said in the Discord. Sometimes I wonder if that would scare new people off, because it is quite a big number, 1,000 raindrops. And I know a big appeal of this stream and game is the fact that people want to make their own character. That is one of the things people want to do. But there's a lot of other cool things as well, like getting involved, sharing ideas and having a say, shaping the game in general, and voting on polls as well. So yay. Okay, so I'm gonna save him and I'm gonna proofread him after, because it's hard to proofread on stream. It's actually very hard to do that. Okay, so he's saved. Now, let's get Drado up again. So we can tick him, because we've done his character sheet. So we've got Legmog, Oracle, and we also have Storm. And I've skipped Storm for now, just because his character is very, very in-depth. And there's a lot of thinking to do in regards to that character, because he's done a big Google Doc of him. So I want to make sure what I put on that character sheet is the right stuff as much as possible. So I'm going to do Legmog and Oracle first, and probably Storm after. But to be honest, I'm going to be doing the rest of them off stream anyway. Apart from Neffle's going to be done with the next batch. because I won't be working any of you that are submitting character sheets like soon, like in the next week or even the next few weeks, that I'm not going to be doing them straight away. I'm going to leave them for a bit and work on the game dev stuff again. But at some point, when I've had got a bit done there, I'll go do the new character sheets that we do get. I'll likely do them in bulk, just like I did with this recent lot. So yes, guys, I'm thinking we could have started leg mode today, but looking at the time, it might not be smart to start it right now because we are coming towards the end for today. I know Legmog wanted to say see the character, but I'll put it on Twitter anyway, and it'll also be on Discord as soon as it is done. I really want to be doing something different on Wednesday. I'd like to really get those character sheets done off stream, so we're not still doing them on Wednesday, because there's a few things to do in May. We've got dialogue scene work to finish. Well, to be honest, the dialogue is basically done. It's the scene work though we still need to finish, and I did want to do that off stream, but I won't say no to having the odd scene stream or two on stream, just for a break from battle mechanics if it gets a bit intense, because the battle mechanic stuff sometimes can. But we'll see how it goes. Still not sure what Wednesday's going to be yet, but it's not going to be character sheets. I'm gonna be finished. All the character sheets will be done and posted on Twitter by then. Only Neffels will still be unfinished. So yay. I think it'll be a good time to stop here, guys. Okay. Hi Antico, how you doing? Just as we're about to finish for the day. Stopping. How was your Monday, Antico? I hope it went well. I hope you had a good one. And bye there. Yeah, take care. I'm gonna head off myself anyway, guys. So I'll see you all on Wednesday. And have a good one. Have a good start of your week. And thanks for hanging out, guys. And don't forget, Rose, you're awesome. The bestest twinsy ever. You too, Moon. You too. Take care. And remember to read my messages. I will. I'll have my dinner first and I'll come and read it after, Van. Take care. Bye-bye.